the moon landing. The moon landing on a vintage TV. I don't know if this was originally a color TV. Obviously, they're playing a color documentary. Looks like a really old console. It's Walter Cronkite's classic reaction. Genuine, what a great guy he was. My sister interviewed him. She was in media, such a gentleman. He was like a little kid. Everybody loved Walter's description on CBS. And I'm sure that NBC. I'm sure ABC and NBC had some good coverage, but Walter's reaction was classic. Matter of fact, he did a wonderful job preceding 11 in post Apollo 11, but that particular one was just so, you have to cherish Walter Cronkite's reaction. I'll post a video of his reaction under this, wherever I post it on Facebook later on, okay?
29 minutes then.
There's Neil Armstrong preparing for Apollo 11 with Jim Lovell. At a certain level, they were all friends and all knew each other. And some did not care for each other, frankly, but it wasn't enmity. It was just kind of Air Force Top Gun swagger. Some guys swag more than others, and some were a little more behind the scenes. You kind of just let things ride. And there's your Capcom on top, Charlie Duke. That's the guy who said we got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. And they finally announced that they landed on the moon and didn't crash, and they were good. And you can see Jim Lovell, who actually also was in mission control, and the astronauts would take turns serving duties, speaking to the astronauts, because they knew more than anybody else kind of how it worked, like the balloon at the end of The Wizard of Oz. They knew how it worked because they were in those controls. They trained in those same capsules, the LEM and the lunar module and command module, even though they changed a little bit over the generations. Markedly for Apollo, matter of fact, that's why you have so many Apollos leading up to 11. They had to do docking procedures. They had to get to the moon in the first place, which was Apollo 8. And the misfortunate Apollo 13, obviously it didn't come back, but actually went farther from the Earth than any other because they had to do a burn to come back and go that far to get that much burn. And go for burn, that was the classic line from Mission Control. Okay, so maybe I'll walk around here and show you a little more here. It's getting later, not many people are here. I'm going to stay for the Pink Floyd show and probably take a video of that a little bit. They show that before it closes. Here's something interesting. Gene Cernan, who walked on the moon, and putting my hand in his handprint here. He visited the museum in 2012. Let's see if I can put my right hand in the other one. He has some big hands. See, my palm is at where his palm bottoms out, so the dude has some pretty big hands. It's like putting your hand in a big bowling ball or something. So anyway, just a few little video displays here, and this is interesting. This is an Apollo medallion that went up in space for every Apollo. You should see that there's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so you had Apollo 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's 11 of the ones that were manned and went up. I'll tell you more about the early Apollos between 1 and 8. I think that those were non-manned just to see how everything was operating. I don't know if they skip numbers. I never really knew too much about it. I just know every manned Apollo that brought up one of these medallions in space. So every medallion you're looking at, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all 11 of these were in space, and every one of the Apollos, from 8 to 17. So I thought that was kind of cool. And that's it. I'll take a walk around to see a little bit more. And then I'm going to wait around for the sky show to see how that goes. Go ahead. I like this sign, please do not climb on the sun, kind of cute. So I walked through this earlier, it's kind of cool. It's got a little diorama of every planet. I guess there's only 8. Pluto's not a planet, but they still have Pluto. So Pluto, you didn't leave us as a planet. They still show you as if you de facto were one, which is good news for Pluto. We still love Pluto. Pluto is really far out. It's almost as far out as the Oort cloud. It's like way out there. I can't even describe how far in space it is. But anyway, a little cafeteria here, and a beautiful viewpoint of the skyline. And you probably can barely see it out here. This is an extension to the planetarium built in, I think, 1993. And you can see Navy Pier and the skyline. But not very good because it's really obscured by the steel ceiling here, this little extension. That's pretty though. And I'm going to walk to the end and show you guys the exhibits for a second.
It was part of a meteor wave several tons that broke up into thousands of fragments, striking the ground outside of the
Everybody is really enjoying it. I just am listening to everybody's conversations. Obviously, kind of self-excludes. The attendance is going to be mostly intelligent people. Stupid people aren't going to come to the planetarium. So it's kind of like a weeder out of smart people. So real smart families. I'm just listening to their conversations. And I'm going to show you a little display they have to show how far out the outer planets are. I'm going to walk this. This is the sun. By the way, that's the observatory at night. It's open on Wednesday evenings for the public. I don't know much about it, but it's a functional observatory. It's adult night on Wednesday. Tuesday and Thursdays, only kids can come in for field trips. So here's the sun. Here's Mercury, really close to it. Venus is the next planet over, and that's us. That's we on Earth. We're sitting on Earth looking at this with the smartphone. And Mars is pretty close to us. This is where they start spreading out. That's the asteroid belt right here. And this is Jupiter. You see, this a little bit of a walk to Jupiter. But it's going to be more of a walk. Look how far we got to go to get to the next one. And we haven't even gotten to it. Here it is. It's Saturn, way out there. Now watch how far we have to go to the next one.
You can still see that in the rock. That's the blackest material. You can also see that. Now scientists love to get wretches.
And that's Uranus. So we had to go that far. And now we're going to go to the next one, which is even farther. This is exactly the distance in miniature. That's Neptune. And there's another one that I said they still show as a planet, not in verbiage, but they give it the same attention. They don't even say it's not a planet. Okay, so Pluto, the Adler Planetarium still is treating you like a planet. They haven't demoted you yet, but it doesn't say you are. It doesn't say you aren't either. Very wise decision. But that goes to show you how far Pluto is from Earth. Okay? And that's about it. I'll walk through some of the exhibits and then we're finished. If you can see that asteroid right there, that fell through somebody's roof in Olympia Fields, and they saved it and donated it to the Planetarium. They said it went through their kitchen, and that's what they found. And it was a small part of a much bigger asteroid, and I guess that can happen. Matter of fact, if that hit somebody, it would have killed them. So there's a small chance. Think of that you can get killed by an asteroid. You just happen to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And this is the story behind it. You want to read that. Just before midnight on March 26, 2003, a car-sized meteorite flashed through the sky over Chicago's south suburbs and exploded. This fragment crashed through the kitchen ceiling of Olympia Fields couple at over 200 miles per hour before ending up in a pile of laundry in the basement. And that's it. So, pretty cool. And that's a huge one. That fell in meteor crater in Arizona. And it was much bigger than this. I think it was the size of a house or something like that. It was a partial part of it. It's a huge impact. It's a tourist attraction in Arizona, and they found that at the bottom of it. So I thought it was pretty interesting. I guess I'll touch it on camera. So it's all iron and silicate, mostly. Very interesting.
Hunter's Augusta, the second largest asteroid in the origin, is launched in the state of Arizona. A giant impact excavated so much material.
There it goes.
6% of all meteorites
I
falling
don't know exactly what he's trying to say, but I guess that's crumbled rock and silicates.
I'm pretending it.
It's something the kids like to play with. Matter of fact, when they make these exhibits, they actually have to consider what tactile things that can we make that's like the Museum of Science and Industry that kids that are restless, that are driving their parents crazy, can push or crank. And that's kind of how you get stuff like this. So they have fun too, doing their tactile pulling and twisting and stuff. So a little bit about Jupiter. Neptune. Uranus. This is the dark side of the moon. I don't know exactly how that works, but I think that there's more impact on the dark side because the inside of it was protected over the entire existence of the moon since it was captured by Earth's gravity. They can't get in between. I mean, they can, but it's a hell of a lot harder because you have Earth's gravity well pulling against it. But that is a picture of the dark side of the moon, but it's not dark when the sun is on it. You can look at it from the other side when the sun is on it, which is very possible if you're in space. I don't know how they got this in space, but maybe it was the Hubble, I don't really know. It's kind of interesting to think, how the hell did they get it? They didn't get it from the Earth, but it's always facing the other way. So they must have got this from space, or maybe probably one of the Apollo missions, most likely, that had the command and control. Probably took a picture of it when the sun was on it, I guess. So I guess we answered our question right there. And they have all the planets orbiting in this little room here. Here's the planet we know of as Earth. A lot of you people are probably pretty familiar with this. And we spent most of our time, more or less all of our time, on this guy. And, this is where something called life resides, and hopefully other places too. And hopefully not just on Earth. Oh, boy, am I glad I remembered this. This is a moon rock. One moon rock in the museum. And Apollo 15 brought that back. It was part of a much bigger rock that they brought back. I can't even get anywhere near it. You get Pyrex glass, and it's inside a Pyrex pyramid. It's kind of cool. It's almost like a cult kind of packaging. It's a moon rock. It's kind of boring when you're actually looking at it because it just looks like a rock. I guess we have to take their word for it that it's a moon rock. I'm pretty sure that they can vouch for it, whoever brought it over here. And whoever got it in the first place and ended up displaying it here. I mean, somebody could have played a trick and just put anything in it. I trust that that is a moon rock. So, and you can't really see it glitter too well. I can. If the camera's glare, you probably can't really well. But it glitters under the light. Real pretty. It kind of breaks up because of that pyramid. It's a different mirrored images. I guess that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed it.